Well, hello, everybody. I'm Russell Weaver with the Nebraska Furniture Art with NFM. I am the floor manager here on our Omaha location. I am with NFL defensive tackle up in Minnesota, Harrison Phillips, formerly in Buffalo, formerly at Stanford, and always from Omaha. How are you doing?
I was going to say, most importantly, Millard West grad.
Millard West grad, indeed.
But yeah, doing well. Back in the off season. Wish I was getting ready to play a football game in a couple of days here, but happy to be back. Building a home here, so very beautiful to see how that's coming along, and most importantly, came out of the season healthy.
That's what we like to hear. Yeah, you're working with a couple of our folks here at NFM to get that home put together. We really appreciate it. Glad to have you here. We're going to have a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about, some fitness, some electronics. Don't forget to question and comment. That's going to put you in a drawing for a $200 gift card that we're going to give away at the end of this Facebook Live. So if you don't mind starting, we're in our fitness area here. I know you put together a fitness guide once before for NFM. So what I wanted to do is go through, and if you were setting up your home gym today, you're looking at what we got, what are some things that are an absolute must for what you need to do?
Well, any gym or any workout space that I go into, I'm always going to be attracted to a bench press. We're going to have to figure out if we need 2 or 3 of those racks in order to get enough weight for me.
Yeah.
But I think that you guys sell some pretty good stuff here, very sturdy stuff where the weight capacities are heavy enough that me and my NFL teammates can lift on some of your machines. I think paired with some of this stuff, I also in my off seasons tend to lose a little bit of weight. So during the season, I might play around 310. It's just a lot of weight to carry around on the golf course and hanging out. So I always like to lose weight through the off seasons, and I don't like to use treadmills as much. I pound in on the joints. I just played a full season,
hard,
and so I see over here a few cardio pieces of equipment that I probably would use.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk that way, or do you want to stay?
Yeah, we can. Let's walk this way.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
So when you do your cardio, is it normally an aero bike? Is it normally a stair stepper?
You're speaking my language. So these Nordic track ellipticals are also great for offloading weight. Good sweat. I'll normally do like a 30 to 45 minute fasted in the morning just to try to shed some weight. But you need to get both types of cardio in, and that's where I'll use one of your assault bikes that I think I had in my gifting guide actually.
Yes.
Yep, sitting right over there. And same thing here. This is something that I use. This exact model is what we have where I'm currently playing. And I'll use this same bike probably 2 to 3 days a week in the season.
Yeah.
So Monday after we finish a game, we have a Monday morning workout. And the first thing we do is you get on, and just to kind of get some of that lactic acid broken up, is we'll do 10 sets of 30 on, 30 off. And it's 30 and on. And I just played a game yesterday. Everybody's a little beat to crap. But, 30 seconds of going, and then just a 30 seconds. And we're talking about the game, talking about the coaches, talking about whatever.
Yeah.
And then hit it again. We'll do 10 sets of that. Then on Wednesdays, depending on how the season goes, my body could be pretty beat up, and we'll have a walkthrough on a Wednesday. Well, I still need to get my cardio up, so I like to do 10 sets of 10 seconds on, 20 seconds off. It's kind of a football play.
Okay.
Going. Then they're getting on the ball. Here comes 20 seconds off, 10 seconds on. And so I love using this, and in my off season, again, it's a great way to be unloaded off of my joints, low back, all the tendons and ligaments that need some help, but can still get that heart rate up pretty high. Sure.
Now, you prefer a morning workout?
In the season, we work out in the morning. When it gets to the off season, it's super unstructured. I'll be flying to New Orleans in a couple of days. I'll be flying back. Then we're going to go to Arizona. I'm back in Minnesota. I'm coming back here. So it's really just whenever I can get it in. Sometimes the best workouts are you're up, you're fully hydrated, you had a big breakfast, maybe even a big lunch. You're wide awake, you're good, and you can really go get a good lift in. And so it just fluctuates. I think I was at the gym yesterday at 4 p.m. Got a good one in.
That's my time is after work. It's the only way to get it done right. So with your cardio, with your weights, if you were to put out your favorite type of workout during the day, the one that makes you feel off season, like, yes, I feel like that's a good workout.
We might walk over one more in the middle here.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if a lot of our viewers are local to Omaha or Nebraska, but I was fortunate to be a multi-time state champion wrestler here.
Yes.
And so this is kind of in the neck of the woods where the last week or so I've wrestled a few times. I actually went up to the University of Minnesota, wrestled Olympic heavyweight champion Gable Stevenson, national champion wrestler. Got on the mat. I got the itch again. And so A lot of times in my off seasons, I'll come back home and I'll stop by Millard West and help out Coach Townsley in the wrestling program, show the heavyweights a few moves. And there's been an off season or two. I got back and started boxing with Bud Crawford. And so, I was immediately drawn to some of your Everlast equipment over here. Again, I'm just trying to find creative ways to get cardio, to lose some of my weight, to keep, but you don't want to, my joints shouldn't be benching 450 pounds right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to load 600 pounds on my back after I just played an NFL season. So you have to be able to just try new things. That year I boxed with Bud was super, super fun. But when his warm-up was like 30 minutes straight of single leg hops, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But wrestling about a week ago, I've been on the mat now 2 or 3 times. I got the itch back. And so I've been doing a little bit of that to help out. That's core, that's balance, that's football drilling type
also
stuff.
Staying loose and being able to be mobile.
Right, right. And I said this drill in a competitive, injury-free way. Let's make sure that we come out of here injury-free, get a good workout in. So, and I actually wore my ring, my Ultra ring here that you guys sell, and heart rate was up to over 180 when I was wrestling the other day. So
let's do that. Let's come on over to the Ultra ring and show what we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, talking about bench, you were 42 straight bench in your combine is what it was?
Yeah, it depends who you ask. Unfortunately, the judge took away most of my a handful of my reps, but yeah, officially 42, which has stood up the test of time now. No one's got that sense.
That is amazing. See. All right, so your Ultra ring.
Yeah.
So that is a keep on your body as long as you can. How often do you have to recharge it?
Maybe every 4 to 5 days, but I'm also checking my app pretty frequently.
Okay.
I'm a guy that wakes up, wants to see how my sleep is. After a workout, wants to see, hey, where are my steps at for the day?
Yeah.
I believe if you kind of just leave it on, set it and forget it, you can kind of go back. And I think it's maybe 6 days you can go or so without it charging. But yeah, I was just happy that when they sent in the sizer wheel, they were able to find a ring that fit. I got some knuckles that are jacked up and jankety a little bit from football. I think I went with the matte gray, which is it's tungsten and titanium, I think is what it's made from. And it's been good. I've had other wearables. I actually wear another wearable currently too, but I like to compare the two and make sure they're, little checks and balances. I mean, my body is my living, so I want to make sure I'm doing everything I can to monitor it.
Yeah. And I found that a watch does things great, but of course I'm not wearing it at night because I've got to charge it for the next day.
Yeah.
And if you're doing any type of sleep study, making sure that's going right, this is something that's going to help you out with that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to see some of my teammates. And like I said, I was just wrestling with Gable Stevenson. He has a wearable ring that he wears as well. And other teammates, this stuff is really moving up. And as a scuba diver, I'm a certified scuba diver. Fun fact.
All right.
2 truths and a lie. Now they're going to know one of my 2 truths. But I think that they're also good for 300-400 feet deep.
Yeah.
I'm hoping sometime this offseason I can get under the water and do that. It's a fun pastime of mine.
Now, do you get scuba certified here, or did you?
Back when I was playing in Buffalo,
okay.
I actually did in Lake Erie.
Oh,
so
the nice is known as subtropical Lake Erie.
If I can, figure out how to take off all my gear, put all my gear back on underwater in Lake Erie, I should be able to do it well, but I can see more than this distance away.
Yep.
So it was
That's
good.
amazing.
Fun little thing.
Huh? By the way, we had a couple questions on the fitness equipment.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I'll have to answer is, do we have the ability to put that together for the customers? Yes, we do have that option of putting some of these together for delivery. One of the other questions that was asked is ring with the app, and you said that there is an app that you bring up on your phone to check that.
Yeah.
What type of information do you get off that app?
Yeah, I can pull it up right now here. So it's the Ultra Human app. Lets me know a little bit about the data from my sleep from last night. I scored an 82. Pretty solid. I had a good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Lets me know how many full cycles of sleep I had. I had 5 hit REM 5 different times. It's going to let me know any elevation or decrease of my skin temperature. A couple days ago, it noticed that my skin temperature was rising. Suggested that I maybe drink some extra vitamins. You stay up.
Yep.
You could be catching a cold or something like that. It also measures my stress hormone, which is insane technology. I think it's getting from HRV measurements that can measure cortisol levels. Movement, I'm at just over 1,000 steps today, and lets me know that what bedtime I should have. So I'll set a time where I want to wake up. It'll say what time I should go to bed. And then lastly, I'm not a caffeine guy, never have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to taste the coffee, but I had a couple teammates say, go as long as you can without it. You don't want to become dependent on it.
Sure.
But anyway, it'll give me a window of where I can start and end caffeine for the day. So there's a lot of information. There's even more bells and whistles on that.
Yeah. Another question that was brought up was equipment to help the knees, and we talked a little bit about offloading those joints. I know myself, I've got garbage knees, so it's a lot of cardio on the bike, a lot of cardio on the elliptical.
Yep. I would say another one of the best things for knees, I've had multiple knee surgeries, is yes, there's equipment, but one of my favorite exercises, I can just use this wall right here. Most knee pain stems from a lot of tendon issues. So I'll just hit a 90-90 wall sit.
Yeah.
And if you start with 30 seconds, hit a couple, 3 sets of 30 seconds, do that for a few days, then get to 3 sets of a minute or whatever. If you get to a chance where this is super easy for you, you're kind of bulletproofing your knees, right? I'm not doing it from up here, not sitting way back. I'm, good 90-90, good base. I feel it all along your patella tendons. There's a big stabilizer for your knee, VMO. You can start to get to the same type of position from a split squat, so it's single-legged, and then you can hold a dumbbell or two, right? So if you're getting to that kind of same position, hold some dumbbells. You don't necessarily need a full rack, a full back squat equipment. You can create great angles and stability from loading your tendons for time rather than hitting reps. So I hit ISOs like that every day before practice and games.
Yeah, and that's, All right, let's go to our man cave area, if you don't mind.
I like man caves.
So again, don't forget, when you comment or ask a question on the feed, it puts you in that drawing for that $200 gift card. So again, I know we have one of our electronics design coordinators, designers working with you. Come over to take a look at putting things together. I know that was my department for quite a while.
Nice.
Thoroughly enjoy it. That's where I geek out the most. One of the things that we talk about when we put stuff together for a customer is we want to have that conversation. How do you use your product? How do you want to interface with that? And I know Eric went through a lot of that with you.
Right.
When we put together things like this in our store, it's kind of our blank slate to start off at. So please take a seat.
We might just have to copy and paste this. Put a couple jerseys up on the wall,
Nice little, this is the 98-inch from TCL.
Not big enough.
It is their medium, just to let you know.
I know. They have the 115-inch too,
115, which we're going to look at also.
Oh my goodness.
And even that is the middle of the road size that we have available. We got a customer set up with a 220. They make a 330. We'll talk.
No, you don't got to talk to me. You got to talk to the wife.
But
shoot, this is really cool.
So this is what we wanted to put together for, again, our customers when they come in and sit down and get an idea of something like this can be put in the home, because it is hard to visualize something like this where if you haven't seen it, haven't sat in it. And of course, I know that you are out and about quite a bit, and you've got a lot of things in the community you do with your playmakers, for example, is something. So you're in Buffalo, you're in Minnesota, you've got one here as well.
Correct.
It's a family venture as well.
Yeah.
Mom and dad run.
My mom and dad help a lot with the stuff back here. Different from some of my other teammates who run foundations and nonprofits is I don't really pay anyone to run my foundation. It's not like a salaried employed position. We've considered that as my personal family is going to grow, and life is getting a little faster. But when I was first bootstrapping this thing, it just felt wrong for me. If you cared about me and my causes, you want to write me a check for $100, and if I have to go pay someone to run it for $50 of that 100 you just gave. So when we first started this thing out, the plan was this: I'm going to cover all overhead, and anybody who makes a donation is going to go 100% of your dollar will go back right to the individuals that we work with. And as we scale and we grow bigger, there's a few more contracted things that we have to cover, but overall that's what we've done. And we've got almost 1,600 playmakers across the country. I'm planning a couple events here in Omaha coming up, but it's been really great, and I've been thankful to be able to try to use my platform to shine some light on an overlooked population.
Yeah, that's incredible. I've done a bunch of reading lately about the playmakers as an organization, and it really is an incredible organization to get people who are, like you said, underserved communities, underserved individuals, to get them out and about in front of other people, get them, it's fantastic organization.
Yeah, I got a kick-ass woman in Buffalo that helps. I met with her. One of her sons is a playmaker. There's a woman that I've now met in Minnesota. Katie, whose sister is a playmaker, and then here in Omaha, obviously my mom and dad help me with everything, and my wife's on the board too, and my sister. So yeah, it's kind of family run, and we're growing really well, and just thankful for all the playmaker family.
Shout out to Paul, who used to be our exercise buyer.
Yeah. My dad used to work here.
Yep,
absolutely, super cool. We getting up? Or?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some Apple equipment.
Okay.
So one of the things that I wanted to bring up is when you are traveling quite a bit, what do you do for your, what is your downtime? What is your relax time?
Really, it's, I enjoy just hanging out with my high school buddies.
Okay.
I enjoy, I enjoy a good TV show with the wife when we get addicted, especially in the off season. We have a lot of free time, so we can knock out a full series in a week or so.
Yep.
And when I come home, I love golfing. New house, I think I'm going to put in a golf simulator, which would be super fun. But yeah, I just get together with my high school crew, and they're all married and having babies and stuff. We're all just going through life at the same time together. So anytime I can go steal a drink or steal a cigar or something with the guys, that's the favorite thing. You mentioned travel. I take one of these guys with me everywhere I go, whether it's watching some of the film that we have is on these iPads, or it's just downloading whatever show. I'm a huge Peaky Blinders fan. I just watch it over and over again. So I'll start up again on my flight in a couple days. Go see Tommy Shelby and the boys.
So one thing with Apple, I've been here at Nebraska Furniture Mart. This is my 25th year here at Nebraska. It's been a hot minute, I know. But Apple started making their own silicone a while ago, their own chipset, so it works better for video and photos, and people that not only take that video but do that editing on there. Now you can do more editing. You can do your photography on here. There's so much more that's done. When you're taking this and you're watching that film, are you I need something small and compact because it's going to be going in a bag, or do I want big and easy to see?
I want big and easy to see because there's tells you can see. This is still plenty good screen size, but when you blow stuff up a little bit bigger in some of these, what are they, 14, 13 inch diameter, it's so much easier to see the subtle details. If I'm watching an offensive line, I want to be able to see that the guard's leaning back. I want to be able to see that the guard's in a 2-point stance versus a 3-point stance. It's not, it's just easier that we'll watch on those, you said 300-inch screens. That's probably where I could find out if this guy's blinking or not.
Yeah.
But those little tells, you can just find a small thing of this guy's right foot's up versus left foot up. You can tell the weight. So when you go out there, if you see this player leaning a little bit, or you see the little bit of depth space between your tackle and your guard, I might be able to anticipate some plays that can help me out.
You want to lift somebody up. You want to see if they're going to be on their
on their heels, on their toes, swim them, go through them, all that jazz.
Yeah.
At least try to lift them up.
Try. They are
try.
A lot of big guys in the.
They get paid a lot of money too.
So with all of this equipment to stay connected and everything else, one of the things that I know you're looking at is a system that you can exactly do that. Log in to see who's ringing at your doorbell, who's who's driving by, who's taking care of all that.
We in our home up in Minnesota, we have a handful of Ring doorbells that are just nice. You get a little notification, and I have a teammate that lives down the street, can have him go put some boxes in the house for me or something if I see that somebody's dropped something off. And it's just nice to have that extra security. Unfortunately, this last season, some of the starred players in the National Football League had their homes broken into and robbed. And the NFL actually put out a meeting to all teams. We all kind of had meetings with our head of securities that gave us suggestions of what type of security to put in your home, central modified thing. So even if we're away, if I don't get to it, a third party can come and monitor and drive by the house to see what's going on almost instantly. And so as we're going through some of the pre-wire stage, Nebraska, you guys have done a fantastic job of presenting me options that meet those qualifications the NFL suggests, and makes me feel safe being away when I'm gone for this season. Now, my parents live down the road. Shay's parents are dang near. My wife's parents are right there. I got a grandfather-in-law who's up the street. There's a lot of people that can easily go check on the home that do some stuff for us, but it's really nice to know that we have these AI cameras that are hardwired that can't be tricked with. I think some of these professional organizations were cutting people's Wi-Fi's and then their rings were going out stuff. We're going to be all good to go and just have some peace of mind so that if I'm away on a game or something, I know that my home's going to be protected.
And with that, actually, let's walk to that area.
Yeah.
So with your security and with everything else that's going on, that what do you? I lost it. It was gone. It was back there.
we
can go back and grab it. But with the security, we have a lot of solutions, and the DIY solution from Ring is one that a lot of customers want an off-the-shelf situation.
Yeah.
So with Ring,
they've done great for us. Yeah, we've had our Ring set up. We have mainly outdoor cameras. We have a few of the stick-up cameras that are battery operated. The battery lasts really, really well if you don't need it monitoring you for every little thing that comes by. And yeah, like I said, it's been really nice. I think my parents have some set up at their home. My in-laws have some set up at their home. It's crazy how reasonably affordable it gets to have that security.
Yeah.
And what I like is when you can be a part on the app of the Ring network, I believe. We'll get alerts that, hey, 0.6 miles away, there was a stray cat, or, hey, watch this video of this car that kept circling our block 1.5 miles away. People will post it. My wife is an animal lover, so we're always leaving out food, and we bought a cat house in case any strays are around or anything like that for different bunnies and squirrels and birds and all that stuff. So it's fun to catch some of them on the cameras too.
And when we discuss this with customers, cameras are one thing. You got the doorbell cams. I've got a flood cam on my backyard. Yep. So if somebody's in my backyard, lights turn on as well. So we always talk about how lighting is also a situation where you can deter people from walking into an area that's a little darker than it should be. I've got a customer that has an outbuilding. We have lights on there that people walk by. Its motion sensor turns on, hopefully deters some people. But in addition to this, we have our, as Nebraska Furniture Mart, a little plug because it's our video.
Yeah, absolutely.
we have systems like Ubiquity that are higher resolution cameras. You can do things like read license plates and read faces and recognize people. And you can go in and say, hey, this is Bill's face. And so when Bill rings the doorbell, it'll say Bill's here.
Yeah.
So those are the type of things that are available here that give you a little bit more, a little further security than what you get in just a DIY solution.
Yeah, I've actually, working with your guys' team here at NFM, Ubiquity is one of the things that we're looking at, or maybe deciding between a few of the ones you have. And these AI cameras are getting super impressive and definitely can make you feel safe and sleep at night pretty easy.
We brought up Wi-Fi as well. I wanted to show a product over here. Something that's been available for a while, but something that we are fortunate enough to start carrying here is Starlink.
Starlink.
So for Starlink, the big selling point for a customer is we've got a lot of rural areas that don't have high-speed internet, that we give that solution to customers. As more and more products, the iPads and the Rings and your phones needing that higher speed internet connection. The nice thing about Starlink, it gives you that ability to get that. And then also secondary is the tailgate solution. So there's people that want to stream those games while they're out in the parking lot. So we've got the mini versions that can fit onto RVs and trucks. We have a gentleman that we did a conversion for an ambulance over into his tailgate solution.
Yeah.
So Starlink offers that ability.
And Starlink is through SpaceX, right?
That is, yep.
Super. Yeah, I'm a Elon Musk fan just for what he's accomplished in the business world and how forward thinking he is, and I think it's impressive. Look at how far we've come in the last 10 years. Where is this technology going to go 10 years from now? How many more people is this going to serve across the entire world? And but yeah, I didn't even think about, currently I'm not having to worry about streaming too many games. I'm playing on those days, but I know I got less football in front of me than I do behind me. So maybe I will have to be out there on an acreage streaming some stuff up so I can watch my buddies.
Yeah,
it's great.
And then when you do make it to that game in the parking lot, and you're gonna have the game going there, listening to some music, doing it. More and more of our product is being required to be internet connected. Yeah. And this gives you the option of being mobile for those times you aren't going to have that cell phone connection or that other connection. But also entertainment. I hear you are a Switch user.
Yes. Okay. You mentioned what we like to do for our downtime, free time, whatever. Actually, we just mentioned about kind of not watching the games anymore. I had an injury in 2019. I was out for the entire season, week 5 or week 4. And I was down in the dumps, super sad. And my wife surprised me with getting us a Switch, something that she's not a video game person by any means at all, but thought that, Mario was a little more up her speed than Call of Duty or something. And so as a way to get me out of the gutter, we got a Nintendo Switch and have been using it ever since. even in training camp when the guys get away, we'll all hook up some Mario Kart or some Super Smash Brothers, play. We'll get on the plane and play sometimes. But yeah, we have a Switch and play a lot of these games that you have here. And there's even a really fun game. It's like a couples game. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Maybe it's called It Takes Two or something like that. But it's a couples game. You have to like play together. And but yeah, this was we still have it at the house, and every once in a while in the off season we'll dust it off. Don't got much going on. Like let's go play some Mario or let's go do something fun on there.
So 2 versions of the Switch that are available. A couple versions, I should say. But the OLED is the newest. That's the best screen. It's the brightest, gets the best black levels on the screen. The Nintendo Switch Lite, smaller, more compact version. But I do have to say, it's got to be a testament to how true your friendship is. If you can get through a full Super Smash Brothers tournament and nobody, it's either broken friendships or broken controllers.
I was gonna say those joysticks are, joysticks. Back in college, we used to play all the time during training camp. We're all away from our families and friends, and we're stuck in a dorm for 6 weeks. And I only played as King DDD.
Oh,
it's the only person I'll ever play as. So I've stuck that with me. Just feel like that kind of looks like me. big old DDD out there. But he's still got some ups. He can jump a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is always great. I think I might have put this on my holiday gift guide.
Yep, it is on your gift guide.
Like I said, it's the fact that you have these guys. When we get on a plane to go to Detroit or Green Bay or something, it'll be an hour and a half ride, and you'll have 7 grown men from the ages of 21 to 33 pulling out their little switches and hooking each other up so they can race each other in Mario Kart or do something like that. It's funny to see that in NFL football players.
Yeah. I mean, fun is fun. I don't care who you are. Fun is fun.
Fun is fun.
So, all right. Let's go take a look at a slightly larger television.
Oh, my goodness.
So
my wife's going to kill me if you rope me into getting this thing.
We'll have that talk with Eric. We can do that. So again, don't forget, question or comment puts you in that drawing for that $200 gift card that we're going to be giving away. So when we talk to our customers about, the size of TV, we are now at a point with customers that we have to be worried about ceiling height. I just had a conversation with Adam here, and he wasn't sure if he was going to have enough ceiling height for a large TV to still have a spot for your center channel, for your surround sound, or a sound bar or equipment underneath. So
if this is the 115, you said they go up to 330s?
330.
So double width, double height on that as well?
So if we took that TV that we were looking at in the center there and put 4 of them.
That's exactly what,
so when this is what they call a direct view television, which means I will have the actual lighting system behind.
Yeah.
And then this is an LCD panel of light shines through. The mini LED, you're going to have a whole array of lights behind, gives me an even tone. When we go larger than this, it's what they generally call a DB LED. And you've probably seen that in a stadium to where they're the small squares that are snapped into place. Yep. So we'll build the frame, snap those into place, and then you have a direct view television of that size. It's a fantastic way for somebody who just thinks, 115 just isn't enough for me. I just need to.
And I think the selling point would be like, hey, the 115 is all one screen. If you get the smaller ones, a little easier if you got a toddler throwing something at the TV, cracks something, you just replace the little thing.
Exactly.
So we might as well go bigger. I got a baby boy on the way, so maybe that'll be the selling point to the wife. Look, I don't want him to throw something that crack this huge screen. Let's just get the one that has these poppable ones. Easy.
We'll have that talk. We
can do
that.
Easy. This is beautiful though.
Yeah. And for customers that are looking at this size, they're looking at either a projector or a television. Projector, you have to have a dark, it's better to have a dark room or some lighting control. Here, incredibly bright. That's where it needs. And again, for most people, just big enough.
Wow. I never thought that I'd ever be able to be pulled up on a TV life size, but there are some TVs you can do it, playing Madden, be out there like playing a real football game.
Yep. GoldenEye, you can each have a 55-inch television to be playing GoldenEye on.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, that's good.
We had a couple questions, by the way. Your favorite Switch game?
Oh, I think historically it would be Super Smash Brothers. But when my wife and I played that, I think it's called It Takes Two. This little couple that plays through a game together. That was a really fun bonding thing for us. Well, again, when I was dinged up and injured, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a good way to go. Question also is asked, is it good for gaming? Now, if good for gaming, you mean your 4x4 for GoldenEye and you got life-size football players running by, and I would say yes, it's good for gaming. This is when we start getting into the weeds of input lag and variable refresh rate. This is the thing that I've always told customers: if you're willing to spend more, there's always a better version of something out there. Find that sweet spot. If gaming is the highest priority, we'll find the TV that's best for gaming for you. How much time do we got left? We got a little bit of time left. Good. Sonos. Let's go take a look at some Sonos products.
For sure.
So, of course, with the big TV, we want that big theater sound. In some households, we don't have the ability to punch holes and pull wire. We have a lot of retrofitting we're doing. We like to, of course, pre-wire when we're building, which is a huge advantage, but we don't always have that situation. Or we have a situation where we want the least amount of equipment, most amount of sound. This is where Sonos has a huge advantage.
Right.
So here at NFM, we have a couple different Sonos spots we like to show our customers. It sounds like yourself, or you're looking at some play bars, or some sound bars they're putting together, some arc bars.
You know, here's the thing. What I've learned now as I'm building this house is that there's people who just want to watch TV, and then there's like sound people. And you can go as crazy as you want with 7 surround sound speakers and subs and put it in your great room, your loft room, your basement, and I wouldn't say that I'm a sound person, but when you come into a store like this and you guys want to play something for me on your TV with just a TV audio, or I come in and I hear what you guys are playing through these very affordable, you know, in the general scheme of things, sound bars that Sonos has, it makes a drastic difference. And so what we originally kind of quoted for in our build came with a few, hey, surround sound here, surround sound there. Walking with some of you guys through the home, and I explained we're not really sound people. They said there's a more affordable way that we can do this for what you and your wife enjoy. And so again, watching the game with the buddies, you don't need, you know, we don't need a full movie theater that I'm going to Marcus to watch. I don't need that at my house. Some people do, and you guys have the ability to do that here. But they were able to come with a lot more affordable solutions for a guy who's like, hey, I want it to be really cool. I want to be able the guys to watch the game, watch the movie, all of that, but don't want to break an arm and a leg doing it. And they kept bringing me back to these models that you have here.
So when TVs have been getting smaller and smaller, thinner and thinner, wanting to hang on, it's harder to put larger speakers in there. So more and more manufacturers, you have almost every TV manufacturer making a sound system or a sound bar to go along with it. Sonos has really cornered that market on that wireless distribution. So when your game is going on the television with the sound bar, and let's say you have other speakers in the house, or you have their amp driving in-ceiling speakers in the kitchen and the dining room, and that, you can put it in a party mode to where anything that's playing on the TV is now playing through the rest of the house. You take out your phone, you use the rocker switch to change the volume, nice and simple. Somebody can be listening to something outside on the deck while somebody is listening to something different in the house. Each has their own way to go. It's just a lot of convenience. They've really done a good job of taking a look at how people actually use their systems, because nerds like myself will geek out, and I'll want all that equipment, and I'll want the 13 speakers in the room. What my wife calls normal people, no, they want to turn it on, they want it to work, volume up and down, great, I'm good, that's all I want, just a better sound.
I'm not technical savvy, and this is, like I said, I think this is the exact model that we've been looking at to put in a few locations. So
it's a great option. Yes, so let's go through some questions again. It's a song of its people. There we go. So some of the other questions that were asked is, what was the largest TV NFM sells? Right now, that direct view 330, I believe, is the largest one we have available to us in a direct view. Although I was at a show in Dallas, is now in Denver, that they were showing larger, essentially jumbotrons. So you can build it to whatever size you need. Might be a little bit strange in somebody's home.
Good for them. If they got that, good for them.
We can do that. One of the things, going back to workout. You talked about when you're at the end of the season, you're at a cut phase. What are some things you do in a cut phase to shed that weight to where you're not losing that muscle mass, where you're not going to
That's good. So number one thing is diet. So like I'm burning 5,000 calories ish a day through the season. I have to eat for that. It doesn't just come. I had to put on my weight. This isn't my natural frame. I'd probably walk around at 250, 260 if I just ate the way I would need to. I force myself to eat. So first thing is I just change my diet. I go from having, 6 egg omelets with steak and, pancakes and oatmeal and a smoothie for breakfast to like 2 eggs and a piece of toast, right? I mean, that's a huge difference. But like I mentioned, a lot of that cardio stuff where the number one thing for me every day is that I have to get about 20 to 40 grams of protein every 2 to 3 hours. So it's almost like feeding a baby. When you're in those first nursing stages, about every 2 to 3 hours, you need to feed the baby. That's kind of what we're doing now is I just want to make sure that as I'm going to continue to burn all these calories each day, doing more cardio, wrestling, hitting on the elliptical, getting some strength training in, as long as you're feeding with protein, I think it's the most important thing. Our body's going to try to take from the muscle. Anytime you start doing cardio, your body is going to try to take something right away. Maybe it's going to want to store some of your fats the longer that you do your cardio. If you're a guy that says, I'm going to go to the gym for an hour and a half and be on the elliptical for an hour and a half, it's going to want to touch your muscles as much. It's going to burn through those carbs and it's going to start eating at your muscles. So you just have to replenish with protein as quick as possible. I know some people like fasted cardio. I do a version of that. Sometimes I don't eat in the morning, but I still will drink some type of protein shake before I go, just so that I know that my muscles are being fed, and hopefully it can try to attack some of these carbs and fats that I'm storing in my body.
I've been on a 4-year dirty bulk, so let's see how that goes. That's
only 4 years.
It's just 4 years.
You got many to catch up to me.
So choice of upper body or arms and chest or legs.
So as I love upper body workouts. I love upper body workouts, but unfortunately, you don't play the game of football on your hands. You play the game of football on your legs, and so it is very even split for me. Upper, lower, off, upper, lower, off. So I do balance really well. But yes, if I'm hanging out with the guys, I want to go in there and get a heavy arm, bench press, tricep, bicep, shoulders. Little arm farm workouts are by far the best.
Get that gym pump.
Get a little pump in. Yeah,
nothing
absolutely.
wrong with that. Let's see. We talked about what you do in the off season. It sounds like golf's in there also.
Yep. As well as the body can hold up. I have a little labrum. I dislocated a little finger, so when I swung for the first time 2 weeks ago, club threw out my hand.
Oh,
no. But we're working through some things, and we'll get the game back together.
Excellent. Which, by the way, make sure you talk to Eric about that golf simulator.
Okay.
Somebody did ask website for your foundation.
harrisonsplaymakers.org. And again, to maybe go a little detail, we work primarily with individuals with developmental differences and special needs, work with a lot of individuals with Down syndrome and autism, but we like to say that our hearts are unbiased. So we have visually impaired playmakers, we have hard of hearing playmakers, cancer surviving playmakers. We just want to shed a light on a population that sometimes can be overlooked. And unfortunately today, sometimes that people will see individuals with differences and maybe pity them or feel bad. And we want to flip the negative perception that these individuals can't do things and show the world that they're amazing individuals too. And some of the most times that my cup has ever been overflowing is after one of the events that I've had. And we also encourage at almost every one of my event, my playmakers are going to go back and serve in the community. One of the favorite events I did this year is we bought about 400 Thanksgiving meals for our veterans. And my playmakers were the ones there putting the meals together and handing them out. So we're serving in the community. Although you would think that the community should try to serve this group, we're showing the world that we kick ass and we can go out there and serve and help others as well.
That's the whole point of a community. Everybody does everything. Everybody 100%. Works together, which is awesome. Asked what your exercise on the road is. What do you try to do on the road? You showed us some
of the ISOs. Yeah. So I'll go to a hotel gym and if they don't have all the equipment that I need, you can just get creative with stuff. Deck of card push-ups. Every card you pull over a different style of push-ups. But really any weight there is. I think that's what's fun is, your body needs to change up. If you're just a normal gym goer that goes every couple of times, if for the last 7 months, the last 3 years, you go to the gym, you do the same thing every time, your body needs new stimulus. It's going to get active to that. So if me and my wife are thinking about going down to Arizona and staying at a hotel there, when I'm there for those 5-6 days, whatever equipment they have, that's going to be a full new stimulus to my body. Hey, they only have 30-pound dumbbells. Okay, well, looks like I'm going to be hitting sets of 50. Well, I haven't hit reps of 50 when I was back at home. So you just are constantly changing and evolving. A lot of isometric work, a lot of high rep work when I travel. And then I'm not too big to just go on YouTube and type in like 25-minute body workout. Click a random one, and that's what I'm going to do that day. And again, as long as you're moving, as long as you're doing something, obviously I'll get when I'm back with the team in April or back with the team in July for the different periods, it's very rudiment. It's very trained specifically to what I'm doing. But in the off season, as long as you're moving and staying in shape and doing something, I think that's great for you. And again, for your normal gym goer, you shouldn't do the same 3x10 of every exercise that you've done for the last 2 years. You're not going to see change. You have to create different stimulus in the body. That's the biggest way you'll change.
I've read a lot. It's every 3 to 4 months you should be switching up what you're doing.
100%.
Once you master what you need to do, go on.
Yeah.
So you're obviously a high rep to failure guy.
Yes, love
All
that.
right.
Love a deep burn, especially at this time of the year. When it gets close to football season, then it's more, lower reps, pyramid build, ready to give, one play, 1,000% type stuff.
All right. Question, I'm guessing for me, is does NFM finance? Yes, we do. We have a lot of different financing options. It'll change throughout different promotions that we're running, but come on in, check with our cashiering team. If you don't have an open account with us, if you do have an open account with us, you've probably used our NFM card. I think it's been 12 years since I've had a zero balance on my card, but I also work here. It doesn't help out the situation.
That's to say, kid in the candy store.
Yeah. They asked if Ring cameras are wireless.
Yes. Well, I think you have either option too, don't you? Can't you get some? Well, no, I guess that's more battery operated or not. But I think I have the doorbell camera is wired and the stick-ons are battery.
Either or.
Okay.
So they offer both.
Okay.
So if you're in a situation where you have a camera that you can't get a power line to, what there is there's usually either battery or what we usually like to do is a solar panel. Put a solar panel on, that solar panel powers it where it needs to. We're not in Seattle. We're fine. We get enough sun. We don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Right.
Funny enough, the higher you go in quality, the more likely it is to be hardwired. Ubiquity, for example, is a great example of something that needs a constant power. The amount of information that I'm sending back and forth, we want to hardwire. Wireless is convenient, but wired is always better. I feel that same way for a lot of technologies. If you can put a hard wire there, put it on network using wireless, it's just better. This is the nerd speaking. You don't always have to listen to me.
Yeah, I think the long story short is that you can find solutions for every problem or question that you want. If you want a camera to do this, there's one out there for you.
Yep. There's a lid for every pot.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. The Sonos solution in your home. One of the questions asked, are the speakers wireless? They do operate off of a wireless situation. The nice thing about the Sonos system is the more Sonos you have on your home, the stronger that network is, the easier it is to communicate. Just like the Ring cameras, if your cameras are too far apart, there's a chime that works as a hub that relays that information around. So again, pot for every lid, solution for every need. That is going through our questions.
Pretty PG questions. I thought there was going to be some outlandish ones in there, but that's pretty good then.
Yeah, no, these are all right.
Good.
So again, Harrison Phillips, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate your foundation, all you do for the community. We are very, very happy every time we're able to see you. Again, my name is Russell. I'm the general floor manager here at Nebraska Furniture Mart. Come in to any of our locations for anything you saw. Check our website. Give our call center a call. We're here to help you out. And again, we are going to be giving away that $200 reward card or gift card. And Adam, is there anything else we need? Harrison, thank you again.
Appreciate you and NFM. It's great to have a staple that I grew up going to, and then now, 20 plus years later, starting to build my own house, still having that same staple that's going to help me do that too. So yeah, thankful for our partnership, and I can't wait to keep growing with you guys.
Fantastic. Everybody, thank you again. We'll see you later.